Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Reddy from Reddy's Rides. I'm back here at Dick Norris Buick GMC in Palm Harbor, Florida, because guess what? We have the all-new, this is the first time, 2020 GMC Acadia. But what makes this one the first time, is the AT4 designation. So let's talk a little bit about GMC. General Motors, the General Motors truck company, been around for so many decades. They really have filled up their lineup with SUVs because of the huge demand and desire for people that want a variety of different SUVs. What's wonderful about the Acadia is that it fits into that 3-row capacity, but it's not a super large SUV by any standards, which actually I think gives it an advantage over some of the other models that are out there. Having that AT4 trim, this is now an off-road version of the Acadia. Not only are there changes for 2020 styling-wise across the board for the Acadia, but with that AT4 trim, you're gonna get some extras, including a very sophisticated all-wheel drive system that'll allow you to go down those different trail roads that you love to visit. In the end, really what this video is about is to answer a question for you, the essential question: should this have really been the Chevrolet Blazer instead of what General Motors produced? But let's go ahead, dive into this all-new 2020 GMC Acadia AT4. Right off the bat, what you'll notice is all new headlight styling on the front of the business. I love what they've done. They've really brought the headlights, the design, into a more aggressive look. So you have these C-shaped daytime running lamps, a little bit of blacked out design inside, but really works well with the black on this AT4. When we drop down, you do have a little bit of fake vent, which I am gonna zonk. I wish they would do something with this corner. I don't know why it's gotta come all the way up, but you have the fog lamps down low, and it's gloss black, which matches the black on this particular Acadia AT4 spot on. Now, as we come across the front, all new grille design for 2020. I love the color. I love what they've done with the overall shape. And of course, that GMC logo, so much history behind it, and the color works super well. Now, as we drop down, you have that same like gunmetal gray color, flat black on the lower grille. The interesting thing, and I am gonna zonk it, is that because this is an AT4, you would think that it would have more ground clearance. It still has about 8.4 inches of ground clearance, the same as any other Acadia. So to me, that is a zonk, but definitely looks good front bumper wise. Now, as we come up under the hood, still has that great shape where you have the raised middle section, and then we have the curves off to the edges. As we come around the bend here, here's something that's special for this AT4. These black wheels, gloss black, and they're gonna obviously be wrapped in these off-road specific tires by Continental. These are the Continental Terrain Contact. This is a 17-inch wheel. You can see the amount of space we have from the top of the off-road tire to the inside of the fender. I do like how they have the flat black that goes from the front corner all the way around the fender, gives it a nice rugged off-road look. And of course, underneath all that sheet metal is gonna be that all-wheel drive system that you can't really get on the other trim levels. Now, as we go down the fender, nice little flaring out, nice body line. We got the black on the mirrors, slim and trim turn signals. Little bit of flat black is okay because it's matching with the flat black on the fenders. Another thing that's AT4 specific are these raised roof rails with the crossbars. And if you notice, I'm sure Tom will show off how the GMC logo is stamped right into the actual crossbar, specific to the AT4. You got that wonderful AT4 badge. I love the placement of it. It's not too high, not too low. Have you guys seen a Chevy Blazer lately? They have the Blazer name like all the way up here. What are they thinking over there? This one is properly placed, and really this should be the Chevy Blazer, but no, it's the Acadia AT4. As we continue down the side, nice high belt line down here, really shows a nice rugged off-road look. And this is gonna take a better beating than if it was all just painted the same body color. When we get to the side, that rear quarter window, nice and large. It's good to have a rear quarter window that size because of the third row. I like the way they gloss out the black. Makes it almost look like a piece of glass that's been wrapped around. And speaking of the back, This, they did another refresh. So they refreshed the taillights and this center gunmetal gray strip with the GMC logo. My only zonk is I think they went a little too far on the light. I feel like they should have cut the light back a little bit like that. But other than that, very clean. We dropped down, wonderful flat black. This one you can tow, obviously, being an AT4. And you have that vacuum style exhaust. I'm not really the biggest fan of the vacuum style, but at least it's real exhaust, and it matches well with what's going on with the bumper. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood of this AT4 Acadia and see what we're working with. All right, guys, we got the hood popped of the Acadia AT4. Wonderful thing, you get engine choices. This one, though, I think has the better choice. This is that naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6, 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque. It is now mated to that 9-speed automatic transmission. It does have a dual clutch all-wheel drive system and can tow up to 4,000 pounds. MPGs, 19 in the city, 24 on the highway. I think it's great that GMC stuck with 2 engine options. You can get an inline-4 turbocharged engine, and it's awesome to see finally that AT4 badge be on this Acadia, especially with that all-wheel drive system. Engine compartment, it's not really the sexiest looking of engines, but really, how many people are gonna pop the hood on their Acadia AT4 anyways? Let's go ahead though, fire up this V6 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, inside the 2020 Acadia AT4. So like I was saying, you know, you do have the refresh for 2020, but what makes this one all new is that AT4 designation. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I like the idea of off-road. I definitely like the look of this. This is really what the Blazer should have been. How much is it? MSRP, the way that this one's option, which is pretty much fully loaded, is $46,000. Remember, that's about $2 grand less than a fully loaded Blazer, if you could believe that. But let's go ahead and go to the door panels. I like what's going on, even though there's a lot of dark material. I think that it'll help allow it to stay cleaner longer, but you do have nice leather on the armrest. It kind of goes halfway into the back portion of the door. You have soft material across the top. I like the tan contrast stitching, and there's a little bit of this orange carbon fiber design, faux carbon fiber. That's actually pretty tasteful, and I think it matches the AT4. You do have the Bose upgraded sound system, soft material. There's a little bit more of that faux orange carbon fiber and that nice tan orangish stitching. You get to your 8-inch infotainment system, same exact setup. You know what's nice about it is you got lots of features. There's your backup camera, obviously with the directional. You have the ability to have that nice line to line it up to your trailer hitch. So that's really good. It's easy to use. You got your navigation, which is of course always a big plus, but it is the same system, dated graphics. So I am gonna zonk that they didn't do a little bit more to this infotainment. But you drop down, I do like the aluminum style trim around here. Easy to use AC controls, dual climate, which is really nice. And if you go back into your home, you can actually swipe here. You're gonna get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and if you look, you could control your rear climate from the control. You can do rear or front. So if you don't like knobs, if you have a knob phobia, then you can use the buttons on the screen, which is really great. Now, as we drop down from here, this is all new for 2020. It's a push-pull button transmission. Now, I know you're probably saying, Joe, why are you calling it push-pull button? The reason why is you push for park, you push for neutral. If you want reverse or drive, you gotta pull. So here we are in reverse, there we are in drive. Little different. I don't like the way they have it set up with this holes here for your finger placement. It looks like it's something ordered out of a J.C. Whitney catalog. But I guess it's a nice touch, something different than a rotary dial. You do have a nice large cubby, no lid, so I am gonna zonk that. I wish there was a sliding lid. It's got a 12-volt USB, 2 USBs and whatnot. And it's got a grippy material here, which is nice. If you wanna see the key fob, there is your GMC key fob. It would have been nice to have AT4 on it, but that's what you get for a key fob. It's got a nice weight to it. 2 cup holders, heated seats, but no ventilated seats, which to me is a big zonk. It needs to have ventilated seats, especially at $46,000. This is the big joy right here. Now, other Acadias have this knob, but if you notice, it has all-wheel drive. So you could actually select all-wheel drive and then go down roads that no other Acadia is going to be able to go down, because this is the AT4. Other modes, I'll show you how that works with the driver info section. Nice high armrest. I like how soft it's padded. Open it up, you got a storage space. Obviously, you can see all the storage that's in here and all that space that's used up. Seats. I like the AT4 embroidery. I also think the piping is very smart, and the stitching. Leather is soft, very supportive, really hitting on all the perfect spots. You got your full electric assist, which is great, not only for the passenger, but for the driver. Check it out, you do have a sunroof. Now let me show you a zonk though. If you look at the shade for the sunroof, you can't actually open it halfway or a little bit. It's either all or none. Sort of like the firing of a neuron on the surface of your brain. And then there's another weird thing, watch this. On your mark, get set, go. It's got the world's fastest sunshade. That thing goes back in like 0.1 of a second. That to me, I don't understand that, but that's okay. I'm not meant to understand everything. Coming over the business end though, I'll show you what's happening behind the wheel. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. Another area that I think they missed the mark, there isn't any memory setting for the driver's seat, which to me is a little bit of a missed opportunity. I do like the size of the wheel. I like the thickness. You got that classic GMC grille and name right on the horn button. These Game Boy buttons I can't stand. I don't even like the way they feel underneath my thumbs, but they do work, which is nice. If you get to the dash, I wish it said AT4 somewhere, just to give you a little extra pizzazz, but you got an analog tach, fuel gauge, coolant gauge, and speedometer. In the center, you could toggle through a plethora of different information. I'm gonna have Tom stay there because watch, let me show you those different drive modes. So here's two-wheel drive mode on, then you could go into all-wheel drive mode, and then you have sport mode. As we keep turning the knob, off-road, and then finally tow haul mode. Remember, 4,000 pounds, push button start, keyless entry. Obviously, I showed you the key fob and whatnot, but why don't we go ahead, check out that mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna be loving the AT4. All right, guys, we're in the mid-row of the AT4. The one thing I really like is that nice sunroof right above us, and it kind of goes close to that third row as well, but the leather is so soft. They wrap the whole backs in leather, which is really great. You have your special floor mats with the brown orangish trim around it, and then you have this little command center, which is nice. You got rear AC, you got a home power source, USBs, nice little tray. Think about how many Hostess cupcakes and Twinkies you could put in here. Very nicely placed, slides nice. Talk about sliding. Obviously the mid-row can slide. Well, I'm shaking the whole, I just shook the whole AT4, the Acadia AT4. And they also recline, which is really great. If you're wondering, well, where are the AC vents? AC vents are nicely placed in the ceiling. Armrests, let's check it out. Nice, ooh. Only thing I don't like, it's as hard as a rock. I do like where they put the cup holders, but why do they have to make that so hard? I don't get that. Maybe because it's off-road. It wants you to feel like you're sitting on a rock. But let's go ahead. I know you want to see Joe Rady from Rady's Rides get in the third row. Let's go ahead and check it out. Third row time. Remember, one of the things that's nice about the Acadia, it's very flexible because you have that third row capability without going to the Yukon, which remember is that big SUV. But you pull up on this lever, seat drops down, and then you're gonna go ahead and push that just to angle it. You got a nice spot for your feet to get in, and then you're just gonna climb on in. Not too bad. What I like about it, what I really like about it, is how my knees are not too high, which is great. Now, obviously, we would need to slide this a little forward because there's no way with a 6-foot man like myself would the seats be able to be all the way back. But I do have plenty of headroom, which is great, and I have rear AC vents. My only problem is, which guess what? Acadia, they kind of half did it. You have a USB for over here, no USB for me on this side, but at least there's a USB in the back. So not many brands, not many models of 3-row SUVs have a USB in the back. But really, like I keep saying, this is what the Chevy Blazer should have been. So thank you, GMC, for at least making a Blazer. Let's go ahead though. We found out how comfortable it can be back here. and how connected you could be, let's check out the cargo area. All right, guys, obviously, if you're taking your Acadia AT4 to a camping site, this thing is gonna need to be loaded unless you're gonna be doing one of those Naked and Afraid episodes. Press the button, electric assist. It's on the quicker side, which is really nice. With the seats up, what's great is you got plenty of room for a stroller. You can line up your groceries, and you even have a cubby here, or if you lift it up, look at those nice 2 storage areas. That's a great plus. Now to put the seats down, very simple. You pull and push. And obviously I had to put a little muscle behind that one because I have the mid-row seat all the way back. Watch how easy this one's gonna be. You pull and push. There you go, nice and flat. Of course, that mid-row is gonna drop down, which I'm just gonna do that and that. You go around, you can push those down, but very, very easy. And what I like about the straps, instead of it being all power, is when it comes to putting it back, it's just real simple. You don't have to stand here and hold a button or wait for it to come up. But why don't we get to the best part? Enough talk about sitting in this and looking at it. Let's go ahead and take this Acadia AT4 for a spin. Guys, we're leaving Dick Norris Buick GMC. We're in the 2020 Acadia AT4. First time ever that trim has been on an Acadia. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into all-wheel drive mode. It's real nice. You just twist the knob right to that location. It tells you that's on. It shows you displayed on throttle. That 9-speed drops down and you're off and running. Peppy engine, 310 horsepower, getting the business done in this SUV. What I like about it is I like the wheels. I love those off-road tires. I think that they went in the right direction styling-wise with the new front end and the rear of the vehicle. Seats are very, very supportive without being too firm. You know, it's like some of these SUVs and trucks we get into, it feels like you're sitting on a plank of wood. This has just enough give to where it feels like you could go hundreds of miles and it's not gonna hurt your pressure points. Steering wheel has good feel to it. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's kind of right in the sweet spot of a weighted steering wheel feel. Let's go ahead and see how this handling goes on throttle. All-wheel drive, getting the power to the ground. That 9-speed is really doing a number there. It really shifts great, very firm shifts, but very smooth. Brake feedback is good. I mean, visibility, just like any other Acadia that we've tested here. Remember, we did do the 2020 Denali, but I'm telling you, even though the interior is much dated than a Blazer, I'd rather be sitting in here than a new Blazer, to be honest with you. Just very, very fascinating how, you know, being in an AT4, like I said, is really what the Blazer should have been. Right, guys, pulling away in this traffic. The great news, like I had pointed out earlier, is that you get your 3-row capability without going to a Yukon, and where you really get those dividends is driving in traffic. You feel very secure that you're in your lane, especially if you've never driven a large vehicle like a Yukon. It can sometimes be cumbersome. This Acadia is so easy to drive, and with the all-wheel drive and the different modes, it's a piece of cake. I mean, they got it perfect to where no matter what the weather conditions are, it is going to deliver the goods for you. Now, I am going to zonk the infotainment system. It is dated. This whole area feels very dated. And then, of course, the push and pull button transmission, I wish this could have been finished off a little bit more cleaner than the way that they kind of have it just plugged in underneath the AC controls. But I'm telling you, this is very, very smooth. And if you're wondering, is there a lot of road noise from those Continental off-road tires? No, it's actually still on the quieter side for an Acadia. Let's see how she handles. On throttle, into this right-hand bend, all-wheel drive, keeping us down. Look at this, nice. Pulling us up the hill, really great. So definitely good marks there. When it comes to power from the V6, how smooth it is, and the all-wheel drive system, there wasn't any slippage of those tires whatsoever. Zonking it because it doesn't have ventilated seats. I want ventilated seats for 46 grand. That's another Zonkera. And then, you know, it's got an auto dimming mirror, but I would like to see that nice upgraded one that has the electronic capability where you could switch it and have a camera for your rear view mirror. That is a nice extra touch that I think at $46,000 is an acceptable request. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the Acadia AT4 is all about. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up and get back to Dick Norris Buick GMC. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been a wonderful day here at Dick Norris Buick GMC. I definitely got to thank Adam, Andrew, and the whole Norris family. So accommodating. Melvin is so great here. The big essential question, should this be the Chevy Blazer? I'm going to say yes. I'm very curious how you guys feel about it. Leave your answers in the comment section. If you want to keep seeing SUVs, especially the 2020s, as soon as they roll off the truck, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rise family. Can't do it without you. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ladies Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner. He wants to go do some kayaking after being around this Acadia AT4. So we'll get you some paddles and a boat, Tom. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.